want to talk about the origin story of Tamra doing the Real Housewives of Orange County. So you joined in season 3,
yeah,
right? And at that point, you were on the verge of turning 40, and you were a suburban housewife who was reconciling aging in Orange County and all sorts of things that at this point seem very remote. But
a bad marriage, you know, raising kids. I was in a really bad position in my life, and I knew that my marriage probably was not going to work out. It wasn't the life that I saw for myself, but I had 3 kids. I had my real estate license. I did it part-time, but I didn't have really a career for myself or the money to get away. So basically, I was sitting in Simon's office, and my girlfriend who lived next door, Pam, we were IMing on AOL back and forth. Remember those days? Yeah. You might have been too young. And she said, hey, did you see this? They're doing a casting call for Orange County Housewives at the Balboa Bay Club, the same place I ended up getting baptized. And I said, oh God, I go, I'm so boring. Like what, I mean, I do real estate part-time. I have 3 little kids at home. Well, there's nothing exciting about me. And she said, do you want to go? And I said, no, I have an open house in Kodo that day, and I can't make it. And so I filled out the application online. Now, no pictures were given, no nothing, but I filled it out like I was a 15-year-old boy. It like sex all the time, like you know, just hypnotic. And then I got a call the next day. And I know for a fact there was the line around the door at the Balboa Bay Club with people with pictures of their Rolls Royces and their money in the bank and their bank statements and all that stuff. So I thought, there's just no way I have a chance. I'm just too normal. There's nothing that exciting about me. And so I had to tell Simon, because it was a voicemail. I didn't even get the call because I didn't know the number. And I'm like, hey, I got this voicemail. It's from this production company that wants to talk to me about being on the Real Housewives of Orange County. He's like, call him. And I'm like, really? Because that does not sound like something he'd want me to do. So I called, and they're like, yeah, we'd like to meet you. I'm like, okay, come on over. So they came over, and I think, like, just in general, I'm a little bit obnoxious, especially if I get nervous.
And self-aware.
Very self-aware. I mean, I get it. I know it. And I think that I had said something about Gina Keogh. They were like, do you know Gina Keogh? I'm like, yeah, we're both in real estate. I go, I run circles around her. And I didn't. I was newly in real estate. I was just saying, throwing against the wall, right? And then they're like, okay, here's this application. It's about this thick. Go ahead and fill it out, and we'll get it. And I'm like, okay. Get a call like 2 weeks later. Did you fill it out? Nope. Can we come over? Sure. So they met Simon and the kids and all that stuff. And the next thing I know, like, I'm like, wait, am I really in this? Am I really in this? And I got the phone call, hey, you're on the short list, which I had no idea what the short list meant. And I'm like, short list? I know I'm short, but that's rude. God.
Never been on a list for it.
Yeah, I've never been on a list. And so I'm like, well, who else? They're like, we're going to interview you and somebody else. It's down to you and someone. And I go, oh, really? They're like, I'm like, who is it? They're like, and I found out, I don't know how, you know me, I can find anything out. I'm like the FBI. And it was a real estate agent in my neighborhood. And I'm like, oh, hell no. So I'm like, so tell me, what time are you meeting her? Because I might have to go slit her tires.
Oh my God.
And they're like, oh God, why are we even interviewing her? And then I just waited, and I waited. And I'm like, wait, they were up my butt trying to get me to do all these interviews, and now I'm not hearing from them. So then I just called, and I can't remember who the producer was at the time. Was it Kevin Lee? Or no, I think it was Pete.
I think it was Pete Tartaglia.
Yeah, it was Pete. So I called, and I'm like, and I'm at an open house, and I'm like, hey, Pete, it's Tamra. Did I get the fucking job or not? And I hung up. And he called me laughing, and he goes, you got the job. And I'm like, I got the job?
Head over to bravotv.com/podcast to catch us clearing up some of the biggest reality TV production rumors and having a little fun along the way.